Oh, we may not be in West Texas today, but we are gonna catch him. What the hell? Did you see that? Lucky, get over here.
Hey, what are you doing? What is your deal?
I've got an insubordinate weeder today. What, like, we're not on the same page this morning. Just jumping off of boats and stuff. Anyway, I'm not sure if you guys have been following the last few videos, but I have been traversing around West Texas to look for a big bite. As of yesterday, I had some trolling motor issues. They weren't really issues. I just don't know how to use my boat. So I drove all the way back to Dallas, and now we're doing some local fishing. I will say I did have to travel west of this lake, so technically we're still on that same Western Texas memo. And I am with my buddy Cole, and we're gonna try to piece together a juicy little pattern for you guys. This is cool because Cole's actually fished this lake as well. That's actually how we connected. He was like, yo, I fish the same lakes you do. I'm like, sick, let's link up and crank him. I didn't anticipate throwing him in the water though, at that one lake, so we're gonna try to stay dry today. Main lake, creeks. What do you think? Creeks? I agree. All right, I'm in business, dude. Camera is rolling. Boat looks like a garage sale, but that's okay, because it's gonna look like a garage sale with a giant here in a second. Cole's throwing a jig. I'm gonna throw a Texas rig, black and blue. This is what I was throwing yesterday. I built up a ton of momentum just on a T-rig with a 7.6 Big Sexy. And we left because it was just so damn windy and I thought my trolling motor was broken. So now we're in the brand new lake, brand new creek. Like normally you have to kind of be off this to fish it, but there's one. That was quick. Second cast. That's a good one, dude. Get the net, get the net, get the net. Oh my God, it's a good one. Oh my God, get the net, bro. Get the net. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Get the net, get the net. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's go. Bro, how big is that? Oh, no. Stop it. Are you serious? What just happened? Second cast.
Dude,
oh my God, I'm shaking. I'm shaking, bro. Okay, I got a scale.
Dude.
Are you serious?
Are you shitting me?
Okay, there's a scale. Where's their scale? In here, I think. Oh, and back there. I think. Or sorry, the other one. You've got to be joking me. Sorry, I'm just losing my f***ing mind right now. If this is the fish, this is the fish I've been after like all month. No, it's not that big. We got way too hyped. It's a 712 though. What? I guess, yeah. It's got insane dimensions. I almost want to reweigh it. That thing is super big. It could be. We got really hyped. Yeah, I gotta calm down. Yeah. Okay, so the scale is reading 712 right now. We were thinking it's like a 10 pounder. It may actually be 712. We're gonna get a different weight on this guy and also get dimensions. Regardless, it is a monster fish. For the first fish of the day to be this big, that is just crazy. 713. It's just shy of 8 pounds, but what a freaking behemoth. Let's get her a drink of water real quick. Okay, come on, Bubby. You're good. Okay. Calm down a little bit. By the way, huge shout out to Cole for filming right now. This is just so funny because I was out west looking for a fish this big just a few hours ago. And I've come to a lake that's super close to where I live. And I catch a freaking almost an 8 pounder, 713. Let's get one more hold up of this fish and then put him back on the lay down. That is a behemoth. Wow. This is why Texas is the freaking deal. Holy smokes, that is a giant fish. Let's snag some pictures and then put them back. We just grabbed some pictures of this big beauty, all thanks to Cole. Absolute giant fish. To not have caught anything over 3 pounds for the past like 3 days and then come out here, cast 2 times and catch this freaking Goliath is such an incredible feeling. We're now gonna put him back in the water. That is just a freaking studly. Look at you. Thanks for eating the bandito bug. You good? Put her there, bro.
That's badass.
That is what's up. Okay, I will say we got a little bit hyped there, but it's impossible not to get hyped on a fish that is that freaking big. And for it to happen so suddenly like that, whew, almost 8 pounds. That's my biggest fish of the season though. 713. I caught a 712 out in the main lake like a month ago, but yeah. Let's get a bigger one. Mind blown right now. Mind blown. I think in the midst of that, I forgot to mention what I was even doing when I caught that. Usually in this part of the day, when I'm filming, I'm just kind of getting adjusted. I'm still waking up. The coffee is settling into my system. I was not ready for that. I don't think either of us were ready for that, man. To go over what that fish came off of, this is a bait I've been fishing a lot this week. It's just a straight up bandito bug on a Texas rig. Lately I've been fishing on the jig and I've been relying on that tactic way too much to get bit. So I wanted to just fish it alone today and put it on a T-rig. I got a, what is this, a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight pegged and a 3/0 flipping hook. This is a meat cleaver hook. It's perfect when you're fishing heavy stuff like this for big bass. That was a 7-pound, 13-ounce fish, but at any moment we could pull up to a laydown, pitch in there, and get something super big. So you want everything to check out. You want the heavy hook, you want the heavy line, which is 22-pound test. That's what I'm using right now. It's 22 fluorocarbon. The heavy rod. This is a 7.6 heavy action, big sexy by favorite. Like, this is literally the hands down one of the strongest setups I've got in my boat. And we got a big old Tranx on here, which has got lockdown drag. I'm still just kind of collecting myself there, but yeah, that's the laydown it came off of. I just took a pitch to the left of it and he was there. We were a little worried. We came back here, this water's dirty, you know, the weather has not been ideal here in Texas, so we didn't know. We were kind of taking a crapshoot by coming to this lake and trying it out, but I have to say we made the right move just off that one fish. Like, I could go fishless for the rest of the day and I'd be like pretty stoked. Wow. All right, this is how I'm rigging the bug. I'm cutting all the flanges off so it moves freely. Taking that big old meat cleaver, hooking in the head about, let's say like a 1/2 inch. Plenty of room to bring that line tie through. Okay, turning it over, sliding it back a bit, putting the hook in, then I'm readjusting that line tie back into the nose of the bait so everything's flush and it looks seamless and that hook is completely buried. I don't want to be able to feel the hook point. That way that bait goes through the cover without getting snagged. One of the worst things you can do this time of year is expose that hook, pitch into a juicy laydown, get it snagged, and then have to go over there to retrieve your bait, essentially ruining the whole laydown. You really want to make some good passes on these branches and just be as stealthy and quiet as possible. On the plus side, while it may seem like it sucks, the water is dirty today, but that could be to our advantage. We can get real close to these laydowns, make some accurate casts, and bonk them, straight up bonk them. We got a little too lost in the sauce and ended up in a prairie. Don't know how we got back here. This might have been my idea, trying to find some flipping bass. Anyway, we're out of here. We got like 3 other creeks we can bounce at. The main lake is super windy, so the creeks right now are the answer. I know you guys are probably getting sick of me talking about creeks, but it's what's going on right now, man. They're popping off. There we go. Drag slipping, it's a pretty good one. Not a bad fish. Yes. Nice. Yes. About time, dude. Yeah. It's taken us forever to get that second bite. To think that, like, probably, what has it been, 4 or 5 hours ago, I had that 7-pounder and we've not had a bite since then. It's just a weird feeling, but it was all resolved with this guy right here. He cranked it. No question. Flipping that bandito bug ain't nothing like it. Ooh. That actually really jacks me up. Like, damn, that gets me hyped. Ain't no 7-pounder, but it's another fish. We are slowly starting to figure out these creek bass. Very long fish, probably, let's see, let's get a weight on them. Just out of curiosity. I'm curious. Yeah, man, like Colton and I have just been grinding it. It's a lot like that West Texas deal, only these fish are just a little bit bigger, which is confusing because I went to West Texas to catch, I don't know, it doesn't make any sense, but let's see how big she is. Not too girthy, but she makes up in length. That's a dude, that's a long fish. It's so weird. I've never seen a fish that skinny and long. Came on a nice lay down, just how she should. Oh yeah, 3 straight, we'll take that. Hopefully this is just one step closer to getting into a mess of them. She goes. Oh, all right, yeah, you just jumped the gun there. Nice, that is sick, bro, put it there. Yes, I didn't think we were gonna catch another one. Seriously, it was getting a little scary. I was like, well, I was prepared to be like, I was preparing to end the video by saying like, so we only caught 1 7-pounder. It's not that bad, but I think this creek is the ticket. Like this is, I'm getting vibes. It's 64 degrees. It's the first bite within probably 20 minutes of fishing back here and things are looking up. I dig it. This is, now we know it's not a complete fluke. Yeah. Like that bait, this technique caught another fish. Could we be on a better pattern? Probably, but we have caught 2 fish. So that, in my opinion, is a pretty strong step forward. Oh, I love you, bandito bug. You're just a gorgeous little number. Okay, so that's what we're working with right now. Pattern.
slowly figuring it out. Not quite there yet, but I do feel confident that that fish was a large step in the right direction. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually switch things up. Usually when I catch a fish on a lure, I don't normally switch, but I'm gonna switch in this case. I'm now gonna switch to a trench hog, same color, same company, Googan Baits, you know how we do, and I'm gonna rig this weedless Texas rig style. He is now going to throw the Bandito bug. So that way he's throwing the lure that obviously is tried and true and has worked out in these creeks, but I'm just gonna see if maybe the grass is a little bit greener with this here trench hog. Actually was catching pretty good a few days ago on this in some ponds, so we're gonna try it in these creeks now. Get after it. Buggy, are you having fun? I'm having fun. This is nice. All the fish in the lake should be back here.
Yeah.
Like,
They know where warm water is.
yeah, oh yeah. Do you use that for the wacky worm fish? Yeah. Dude, it helps in this clear water. Helps so much. Yeah. It depends on the diameter line. So like, the reason why I learned is because of, oh my God.
Yeah, I watched that.
Just you see it move. And that is how you miss a fish, guys. I know I like to give tips, and that was, oh, look at that, yeah. Think that was a fish, dude? Wow. She doinked it. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk. You guys saw it, I missed a fish. I suck. Where's my white flag? I'm gonna wave it. That could have been number 3, dude. That's legitimately my 3rd bite of the day.
Yeah.
My 2nd one within like 10 minutes. Trenchy's gonna put another one in the boat. Hopefully there's something at the end of the finish. Oh, there's a trophy at the finish line. Starting to crank all the way out. Hi. Hey, friend. Well, this might be it. We're looking at the last spot of the day. It's probably not the best looking spot we've fished, but we were kind of running out of options. This lake is only so big with so many creek arms. So we've landed here. The water temp's right around 57 degrees. It's super windy over here, but I've caught fish, or I caught a fish back here once. So that's enough for me to come back here and try it out. Give it a dangle. Well, I figured this would be a good place to close out today's video, seeing as not much happened after that last fish. It's funny because I think at the beginning of the video I said something like
I could go fishless for the rest of the day, and I'd be like pretty stoked.
yeah, and that pretty much happened. I caught that 7-pounder, I caught that 3, and those were legitimately our only bites for the day. Seeing as today's video is sponsored by Favorite Fishing, I figured it would be appropriate to go over some of my top rods that I have been catching the majority of my fish on. And I found that this year I've been primarily sticking with 3 main rods to catch essentially all of my fish. So I'm gonna talk about those 3 rods right now. 3 of the rods that I've got right here are all available, linked in the description below if you guys want to pick some of these rods up for yourself. These rods are tried and tested. I've been using them, I mean, for like 2 years now, but this year specifically, I've been putting them through the ringer, and I've caught big fish on every single rod that you'll see today. So this right here is my rod. This is the Rigged Fishing 7'2" medium heavy action rod. It's based upon the Phantom model, but it's got a few different features like that new reel seat, and you've got this just straight up red EVA foam. It is a super awesome rod. I use this for jigs, chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, Texas rigs. It's like a good pond rod, but I use it a lot, of course, on the boat. And I've caught quite a few fish this year, over 5 pounds on this specific stick. I think one of my most asked questions is like, John, what rod would you use if you could buy one rod and use it for all of your trips and endeavors? I would suggest a 7'2". This rig 7'2" in particular, I would highly recommend because I've never broken one. They're super durable, they're very sensitive, and it's good for a little bit of everything. You want a rod that is good for a little bit of everything. You can throw cranks on this rod, you can throw frogs, you can throw little swim baits. It's one of those rods where if you had to get it done with a specific technique, you could totally do it. It's literally one of my top rods in the boat. It's the first one that I've got rigged up in the morning, and it's the first one that I usually grab. So rigged 7'2" medium heavy. I've got this on an 8.1-to-1 gear ratio reel, and usually I'm rocking 20-pound Ted. The next rod is the rod that caught the big fish today. This is a 7'6" heavy Big Sexy. This is just like an all-around hammer. There isn't much play with this rod, meaning that tip is super fast. With this bend, you're not gonna get a whole lot of action, which is good for the main reason that if you're going to go after big fish and heavy cover, this is the rod that you want. I've primarily this year been using it for Texas rigs, flipping, getting into the heaviest, the nastiest laydowns, fallen trees. This is a good rod for that. Eventually, once things warm up, it will turn into my frog fishing rod. That's the rod. Like literally, that is the exact stick that caught the big one. On here, I've got a 7.1 to 1 gear ratio Japanese reel, usually bouncing between 22 and 25 pound test fluorocarbon. Then, last but not least, up top, we've got another big sexy, but this is a 7.2 medium heavy. This is just as strong in many ways as a 7.6, but it's shorter. When I'm doing a lot of skipping or trying to get under docks or low hanging trees, that's when I break out this 7.2 because it's kind of tough to do that with a very long rod like the 7.6. I use this one oftentimes for like flipping jigs, casting jigs. I'll also use this rod a ton if I'm doing like wacky worming, believe it or not, around laydowns and stumps, just because you don't want to use something super finessey when you're fishing around the heaviness, the thickness. So the 7.2 Big Sexy actually does a pretty good job with just a weightless wacky worm. I know it seems kind of off color, but it does work really well. And on this, I've got a 7.2 to 1 gear ratio casting reel with some 22 pound fluorocarbons. This is the lighter setup, it's 20 pound. This is the heavier, usually 25 pound. And then you got the happy middle, which is the 22 pound test fluorocarbon. Another good all around rod. The reason why I don't use this one as much on the pond scene and as an all around stick is because the tip is fast, it's very heavy. This has a little bit softer tip, it's got more play, and I can use it for, you know, reaction baits, whereas this one's more oriented towards the heavy duty stuff. So there you have it. Those are my top 3 favorite rods that I've been fishing with this season. If you guys want to pick some of these up, like I said, linked in the description below. Big ups to Favorite for sponsoring today's video. They've allowed me to use some of these beautiful sticks on these big old Texas bass and really crank them this season. I'm actually preparing for a trip tomorrow, so I'll take you guys along with on that one. It might be a bank mission, so the rig rod hopefully will get some action. That's gonna do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and check the link in the description for all of the gear that I was using today so you guys can grab some and go out in the water and crank some biggins for yourself. I'm peacing out, signing out. Thank you all for watching. As always, folks, keep fishing.